Hi everyone, welcome to this Vinyasa Flow class. So we're going to be working on the core today, but we are going to use some stretches in between. So it's kind of a mixed level intensity class, but it's definitely not a beginner's class. So if you are brand new to yoga, I am going to link a few of my other videos in the description box down below, which may suit you a little bit better. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to just give it a go and pause the video anytime. And as always, you can modify if you feel that you need to. So let's get started. We're going to come lying down on our mats, on our backs. So just take a moment or two to find a nice comfortable position. So separating the feet nice and wide, just allowing the arms to rest by the sides of the body, palms facing up towards the ceiling, and just take a few moments here to really settle in. So maybe just take a moment to do a little scan of the body, noticing how you're feeling. Any areas where you're holding any tension, see if you can just soften into your pose just for a few rounds of breath. And just allow your breath to come to that nice steady rhythm. If it's comfortable, breathing in and out through the nose. And then just slowly starting to draw the knees up and over the chest. Give the legs a little bit of a hug, wrapping the arms around the shins or the backs of the thighs. Just drawing the knees in towards you, keeping the head, neck and shoulders relaxed down onto the floor. So just easing out through the hips, taking a gentle rock from side to side. And then just keep that right knee hugged in, extend the left leg out long, take a little rock with that right knee. So just easing out through the right hip, seeing how it feels. On your next inhale, lift the head, neck and shoulders off the floor. So you're drawing the knees up, the nose up towards the knee. Keeping the shoulders relaxed down, draw the belly in, and then lift the left heel to hover above the floor. So you're engaging the core a little bit here. So keep drawing the navel down towards the spine, and then inhale to switch. So you draw the left knee in, extend the right leg out long, but keep that heel hovering above the mat. Keep stamping the lower back down towards the floor, and then exhale, release the head, neck and shoulders. Take that gentle rock from side to side. Take a breath or two here. And then inhale, lift all the way back up, drawing the nose towards the knee. This time, extend the arms forward, palms face up towards the sky, and we're just going to switch between the legs. So drawing the right knee in, and then the left, keeping the breath nice and steady. So you're really squeezing in with the abdominal muscles, drawing the navel down towards the spine. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed down, even though you're trying to lift the shoulder blades up. So the work's coming from the belly, you're not hunching around the shoulders. So just keep this going. Try to keep it a nice fluid movement. So try not to hold too long on each side or speed it up. Just taking a few more rounds here, and then drawing both knees in so that they're aligned. Keep lifting up so you're still engaging through the core. Keep drawing the belly in. And then from here, reaching to either side as if you're trying to reach towards the top of the mat. So you're lifting the shoulder blades up off the floor. Keep the knees directly above the hips if you can, keeping the lower back stamping down. So just reaching to each side, keeping the breath nice and steady. Taking a few more rounds here, so really firing up through the core muscles. Inhale, come all the way back through center, drop the head, neck and shoulders down towards the floor, and then just allow the knees to fall left to right so the soles of the feet come together. So you're coming into reclined butterfly pose. So really relax the top of the body. Hands can rest on the belly if that feels nice, or keep them lying down by the sides. Just take a few moments here, just allow the knees to be heavy. So just working into the hips. Taking a moment to bring your breath back to that nice steady pace. And then as you inhale, bring the arms up and overhead so the palms come behind the back of the neck, elbows nice and wide. So thumbs face down towards the base of the neck. And then inhaling to lift the head, neck and shoulders once again. Exhale to lower all the way back down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Keep this going with the breath. So we're keeping the elbows nice and wide so the chest stays open. Keep drawing the lower back down towards the floor. So really engaging through the core, squeeze in with the belly. See if you can lift the shoulder blades up a little bit higher each time you come up. And then on your next inhale, this time coming all the way up, we're holding here. Reach the fingertips towards the front of the room and then just find baby pulses. So we're finding that small range of motion just in between, so keeping the abdominals engaged. Really lifting up with the shoulder blades, try not to crunch in with the neck. And then from here, see if you can lift the soles of the feet up so the heels come up off the floor. And if you can, reach down towards the outer edges of the feet and then allow the head, neck and shoulders to come back down. So just finding a little bit more of a hip stretch here, making sure that you're not lifting the hips so tailbone stays lengthening towards the front of the room. Maybe take a little rock from side to side. And then from here, we're going to take a rock and roll forwards and backwards. So we're going to take this a few times. So if you can, either keep the outer edges of the feet, otherwise bring the first two fingers to wrap around the big toes, or you can bring the hands behind the backs of the thighs. We're just going to take our rocks forwards and backwards the length of the spine. See if you can find a little hover each time you come up. On the third time, we're going to see if we can stay balanced in this position. So lifting up through the crown of the head, draw the shoulders back so the spine is nice and long. And then from here, either staying here or maybe trying to extend one leg. If you feel okay with that, maybe try the other or take one at a time. And then we're holding here for a few rounds of breath. See if you can really push the toes into the fingers so it will help you stay a little bit more balanced. Draw the belly in so you're using that core stability. One more breath. And then exhale, we're going to cross the shins, roll over the knees and step back to our plank position. So come to a top of a push-up position, find that nice straight line with the body and just take some rocks forwards and backwards here. So keep drawing the belly in, the gaze is slightly ahead of the top of the mat, so back of the neck stays nice and long. And then really still engaging through the core, so try not to drop the hips too low or lift them up into a kind of mini down dog. So keep that straight line with the body. Just taking a few more rounds of breath. And then exhale, drop the knees down to the floor, sink back to the heels and take a break in child's pose. So reach the fingertips forward, stretching out through the sides of the body. And then on your next inhale, slowly looking up towards the hands, make your way to an all fours position. We'll move straight into our cat-cows here. So inhale to drop the belly, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, round through the spine, look back behind you. Inhale, dropping the belly down, draw the shoulders back, chest opens. Exhale, round through the spine. Keep moving this with the breath. Inhale, drop the belly, draw the shoulders back, looking up. Exhale, push through the palms, round through the spine. Inhale, this time coming to your neutral spine, finding that nice straight line with the body. Curl the back toes under and then lift the knees to just hover above the mat. So we want to keep that straight spine, so really draw the belly in. Keep the shoulders pulling back so you're not collapsing around the ears. Find that nice open chest, and then from here you're going to push the belly back towards the thighs, pushing the hips back towards the heels as if you're coming into child's pose. Really strengthen through the arms, and then inhale, straighten the legs, send the hips up high, downward facing dog. Take a breath. And then inhale, looking up to the hands, shift the weight forward so shoulders come over the wrist, drop the knees to hover above the mat. So same position as we did before, really firm through the hands. Exhale, push the hips back to the heels, belly hovers above the thighs. Strong through the arms. Inhale, straighten through the legs, send the hips up high, down dog. So flowing this with the breath. Inhale, look forward, shift the weight over the wrist, drop the knees down to the floor. Really strong here in the belly, strengthen up through the core. Exhale, push back towards the heels, hips high. Inhale, straighten through the legs, downward facing dog. One breath as you exhale. And then inhale to shift the weight forward, knees come down to the floor, find that nice straight spine. This time either staying here or keep that left knee bent and straighten through that right leg. Try and keep it in line with the rest of the spine. Bring that right foot back down. Same thing on the other side. Extend through the left leg. Right knee just hovering above the mat. Exhale, bring it all the way back through center. Inhale, push the belly back towards the thighs. Send the hips back. And then exhale, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Just take a little pedal out through the feet. Bend through the knees. Ease into your pose. And then inhale, looking up to the hands, small bend into the knees, step or hop forward. Come to your flat back position, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, reach down through the feet, come all the way up through standing, palms touch overhead, look up. Exhale, come all the way back down, hinging from the hips as you forward fold. Inhale to your flat back position, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, step or hop back to plank. Move through a vinyasa, so knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just take a moment or two here, easing back into your pose. Draw the shoulders back so you're open in the chest. Inhale, raise your left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Just flex the toes down towards the floor so you're squaring the hip. Left hip doesn't lift any higher than the right, so keep them in line. Inhale, look to the top of your mat, step the left foot all the way up. Draw the shoulders back to keep the chest open. As you exhale, drop the right knee to hover above the mat, so you're just lowering it down. Inhale, extend the leg, push the heel back, find that stretch. Exhale, lower it down to hover. Inhale, extend it back, keep the chest open. Exhale, lower that right knee down. Inhale, extend it back, last one. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, pull the left hip back, straighten through the front leg. Exhale, bend into that front knee, find that lunge. Inhale, extend, pulling the left hip back, keep the hips in line. Exhale, bend into that front knee. Moving with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, lunging forward. From here, bring the left hand on the inside of that left foot. Walk the hands over towards the right side of the mat. Left foot comes over towards the left, finding your lizard pose. So either you can keep the back knee lifted or you can drop it down towards the floor. Hands can stay where they are if that's enough. Otherwise, maybe exploring coming down onto forearms, finding a little bit of a deeper stretch. And just taking a few rounds of breath here to ease into your position. So again, back knee can be lowered or raised. So whichever feels nicer for you. So you want to find your deepest stretch and then work with the breath to see if you can ease into it a little bit more. So each exhale, seeing if you can soften into those muscles, finding a little bit more of an opening in the hip. And then inhale, slowly coming onto the hands if you aren't already. Walk the hands over towards the right side of the mat. Turn the left toes in a little so you can bend through that left knee. Lift the right toes up towards the sky, coming onto the right heel. So we're in a side lunge. So fingertips can stay in front onto the floor, or you can bring the hands together in prayer position. Try and find a nice straight spine. So lifting through the crown of the head, relaxing the shoulders down. Take a few rounds of breath here. And then on your next inhale, either keeping fingertips down onto the floor or for a little bit more of a challenge, keep the hands together. We're going to transfer the weight onto the right foot, so coming all the way over to the other side. So lunging into that right knee, turning the left toes up towards the sky. Just taking a breath or two here, noticing how it feels on this side. Find your breath. And then again from here, we're going to transition back onto the left foot, this time back into a runner's lunge. So either hands stay together or hands can come down for a little bit more of support. Bend through that left knee, lift the back heel. And then from here, we're going to extend the left leg back. So we're in a plank pose, but we're hovering the left foot above the floor. Draw the shoulders back, find that nice straight line with the body, and then exhale, chaturanga. So coming down, lowering down halfway. If you can, keep that left leg lifted. Inhale to your back bend, dropping the left foot down onto the floor, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up high. Take one breath here before we come straight onto the other side. Inhale to raise that right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. So again, flexing the toes down towards the floor, squaring the hips, making sure that you're really firming down through all four corners of the palms, so you're not leaning onto one side more than the other. On your next inhale, looking up to the hands, step that right foot all the way up towards the top of your mat. Draw the shoulders back, chest is open. Exhale, just lower that left knee to hover above the mat. Inhale, lift it up, push the left heel back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift it up. So moving this with the breath. Exhale, lower the knee. Inhale, lifting and extending the leg. Last one. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, pull the right hip back, extend through the right leg. Inhale, bend into that front knee. Exhale, straightening the leg, keeping the chest open. Inhale, lunging forward. Twice more. Exhale. Inhale, bending that knee, last one, exhale. Inhale, bending into that front knee, right hand comes onto the inside of the right foot, and then walk the right foot all the way over to the right side of the mat. So again, we're finding our lizard pose here. So again, your variation of the pose, either dropping the back knee, keeping the hands down onto the floor, or maybe dropping down onto the forearms if you took that on the other side. Maybe keeping the back knee lifted, even on the forearms, so that will make it a little bit of a stronger variation. And then again, just using your breath to ease into the stretch a little bit more. So each exhale is a kind of invitation to see if you can soften into those muscles. So just finding your stretch and breathing there. One last breath. And then if you aren't on the hands already, on your next inhale, slowly come up onto the hands. Walk that right foot in, turn the right toes towards the left side, bend into that right knee and come into your side lunge. So left toes lift up towards the ceiling, coming onto that left heel as much as you can, lifting through the spine. Again, fingertips on the floor or hands together in front of the heart center in prayer position. On your next inhale, shifting the weight over towards the left side, so bending into that left knee, right toes now flexed up towards the ceiling. Again, lengthening the spine as much as you can. Hands together or bringing them down towards the floor. We'll inhale to come back to that runner's lunge, so bend into that right knee, lift the back heel, draw the shoulders back, and then we'll come into that extending that right leg back into that plank position, so just hovering the foot. Draw the shoulders back and then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, come into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog, send the hips up high. Take a moment here to just ease into your position, pedaling through the feet, bending through the knees. Draw the shoulders back. Then inhale, looking forward, small bend into the knees, step or hop up towards the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, root down through the feet, rise up through standing, palms touch overhead. As you exhale, we'll take this into a twist, so right hand comes back, left hand forward. Gazing towards the back hand if you can. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, left hand back, right hand forward, twisting to the left. Inhale, reaching the arms up high. Exhale, forward fold, come all the way down. Inhale to your flat back position, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, step or hop back to plank and move through your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send the hips up high, one breath here. Inhale to raise that left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Again, just being mindful of the hips and the shoulders, keeping the chest facing down towards the floor so it's not twisting. Inhale, looking up towards the hands. We're going to bring the left knee over towards the left wrist, left ankle towards the right wrist. So setting up for pigeon pose. So take a moment to just ease into each side. Make sure you're not leaning onto one side more than the other. Walk the fingertips back, lengthen through the spine. And then either staying there or exhale, coming onto forearms, or maybe walking the arms all the way forward. So just coming into your stretch, whatever that means for you today. So finding your deepest stretch in the pose. If you've decided to come forward, again, make sure that you're not leaning over towards the left side. So if anything leans slightly to the right, just notice how that changes the intensity of the stretch. So if you can soften in as much as you can. So allow your breath to guide you into the pose a little bit more. So trying to ease off that gripping and holding that kind of naturally happens around the muscles, particularly when it's a hip stretch. So we hold a lot of tension there. Let's take a few more rounds of breath. Allow the body to be heavy. And then on your next inhale, slowly start to walk the fingertips back up if you took that fold. Hands plant down onto the floor, curl the back toes under and lift the back knee. So you're moving that back knee forward slightly. So from here, we're going to do a little bit of core work. So as you inhale, lift the left knee up towards the left armpit. As you exhale, drop the left knee to hover above the left wrist. Inhale, lift it back up, squeeze it into the left side of the chest. Exhale, lower it back down just to hover above the floor. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, lower back down. This time, inhale, lift it back up, cross it over towards the right armpit, and then extend the leg so the outer edge of the left foot comes down onto the floor over to the right side of the mat. Inhale, reach your right arm up, coming into fallen triangle. Try and stack the shoulders, look up towards the top thumb. Keep the breath steady, lift the hips up high, draw the belly in, and then exhale, right hand comes down, swing that left leg back up to your three-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward to plank, keeping that left foot hovering above the mat. So same thing as we did before. Find that straight line with the body. And then lowering down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, keeping that left foot hovered if you would like to. We'll all meet in downward facing dog, sending the hips up high. Take one breath here, and then we'll take it over to the other side. So inhale to lift the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog, flexing the toes down towards the floor. Take a breath here again, squaring the shoulders, moving them away from the ears. Inhale, looking forward, right knee comes behind right wrist, right ankle towards left wrist. Sinking into that back leg, walk the fingertips back towards you, lengthening through the spine. And then exhale, if you took it on the other side, coming into your forward fold. So either onto forearms or coming all the way down, lengthening through the spine, through the back of the body. Sinking into that right hip. And again, just noticing what's going on with the hips, making sure that you're not leaning over to that right side. So you want the stretch to be coming from the outer edge of the hip. And also if you're feeling it into the right knee at all, flex the right toes back more. So you shouldn't be feeling any straining in the knee joint. Let's take a few more rounds of breath here, softening in as much as you can. And then on your next inhale, slowly walking the hands back up. So once again, curling the back toes under, just move that left knee forward slightly, lift the back knee completely, and then firm down through the hands, lift that right knee up to the right armpit. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower to the wrist. Inhale to lift, strengthen through the arms. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift it up. Cross it over towards the left armpit and then extend through that right leg. So outer edge of the foot down onto the floor. Inhale, reach that left arm up. So fallen triangle on the other side. Try and stack the shoulders as much as you can, lifting the hips up high, drawing the belly in. One more breath. And then exhale, lower that left arm down to the floor and sweep that right leg up high into your three-legged dog. Take a moment to square the hips, strengthen through the arms. And then inhale, shift forward to one-legged plank, otherwise drop the foot if you prefer. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog, send the hips high. Take one breath here, draw the shoulders back, so just easing back into your pose, maybe noticing any changes from when we first came into it. And then inhale, lift the heels up high. Exhale, drop them back down. Inhale, lifting up, coming onto the tiptoes. Exhale, drop them back down. Last one like this. Inhale, lift the heels up high, hold. Look towards the hands and drop the knees down towards the floor. Drop the belly, draw the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, push through the palms, round through the spine. So a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, draw the shoulders back, looking up. Exhale, push through the palms, round through the spine. Keeping it going with the breath. Inhale, drop the belly, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, round through the spine. Last one. Inhale, lifting the chest, looking up. And then as you exhale, either cross the shins or swing the legs to one side to come through seated. Extend the legs out in front. Take a little shuffle towards the front of your mat if you're quite near the back. And then allow the heels to spread as wide as the mat. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold in between the legs. So heels are nice and wide. And you can just have the fingertips resting on the floor and then walking the fingertips slightly forward. So you don't need to come all the way down. Just come to the point where you feel a nice stretch, a nice opening in the back and the backs of the legs. Keep flexing the toes back towards you, seeing if you can really breathe into your stretch. So as you inhale, feeling the back of the body expand. As you exhale, maybe seeing if you can sink in a little bit more, walking the fingertips towards the front of the room. Take one more breath here. And then inhale, slowly allow the arms to lift you back up. Hands come down by the sides of the body, walk the heels in through center, and then bend up through the knees, soles of the feet come on the floor. Reach the arms forward, palms facing down, take a gentle roll all the way down onto the back. Reaching the fingertips up and back, pointing the toes forward, finding a full body stretch. So really reaching through the sides of the body. And then exhale, allow the hands to come down by the sides of the body, separate the feet nice and wide. Allow them just to be heavy out to the sides, turn the palms up towards the sky. And then feel free to take any other small movements or adjustments here that you feel that you may need before you get nice and comfortable. Taking at least a minute here in your final relaxation pose, Shavasana. Allowing the body to completely soften and relax. Watching your breath, the rise and the fall of the belly. And allowing yourself to really reap the benefits of your practice by giving yourself this time. So Shavasana, or corpse pose, the most important pose of the practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope to see you very soon and have a lovely rest of your day.